I call this October 3rd meeting to order. We have an audience of one today. And of course, those who are going to be watching it on simulcast. If this item moves forward, or the two items we have will be considered by City Council on Monday, October the 28th. The first item is to consider the minutes of the September 5th Planning Commission meeting.
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from September 5th, 2024.
A second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries. Ellie, you have an announcement? Why don't you just come a little closer to us?
Yes,
Yes, we've got plenty
I
of
need
sitting.
to announce the public hearing procedure. An individual requesting to be heard on a matter related to the purpose of the hearing has to be recognized by the chair before addressing the planning commission. And when you come to the podium, please identify yourself and furnish a home address. All comments and presentations must be addressed to the planning commission and not to the audience. We allow a minimum of 10 minutes to speak in support of an application, and that includes public comment, but it's at the chair's discretion if he wants to add more time. Comments are accepted first from the applicant and followed by persons speaking in favor and then in those from opposition. And then upon conclusion of any opposing comments or presentations, the chairperson can allow the applicant time to rebut if any time is remaining in the original 10 minutes or if the chair has added more time. If you do wish to speak, have a public comment, please fill out one of the comment cards, which are at right before you come into the council chambers, and hand them to me. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a couple of items that have been deferred. The first one is Z-24-14/V-24-22 Pinnacle PG LLC on Karen Drive. That has been deferred by the applicant and will not be considered today. The other item that has been deferred by staff is PH-24-17 UDC text amendments. The first item is CU-24-13, the Talks/210 South Main Street, and Michael will be presenting.
Thank you, Chairman and Commissioners. The first item before you is a request from the Talks for a conditional use to operate a massage therapy business in just under 1,500 square foot suite in the Maxwell mixed-use development in downtown. The business provides lymphatic drainage massage as well as sculpting facial services. And I do have the location map on the overhead. This property is located at 210 South Main Street. It is Suite D, and this is located at the northeast corner of South Main Street and Deferred. Property is zoned DTMU, downtown mixed use. Show you, this is the commercial section of the Maxwell, future reroute of Deferred Road here and South Main here. The Maxwell is about a 13-acre mixed-use development. The commercial core is here at the intersection with the residential behind along Deferred. The commercial area is just over 42,000 square feet, and there are a variety of businesses operating in the Maxwell, including Rena's Italian Grill, Fairway Social, and Ponco Chicken. The applicant's Suite D, is up here along Highway 9, South Main Street, in this suite right here. The Talks is seeking its first locations in Georgia, in Alpharetta, as well as Buckhead. The business has several locations across the country, including in California, Nevada, Texas, Florida, New York, Massachusetts, and Washington, D.C. The application states that the business offers lymphatic drainage massage, as I mentioned earlier, and hours of operation would be Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. The applicant anticipates 8 to 10 employees, all of which will be licensed as physicians. Looking at the conditional use review criteria, we believe the proposed retail service use would complement other businesses operating in the Maxwell. And then the definition of massage therapy also requires that the business be no closer than 2,000 feet from a comparable business. So we did check the spa and massage therapy map just to confirm that this location would not overlap other massage therapy businesses within 2,000 feet, and it does not. The nearest massage therapy business to this location is Acupressure of North Point, which is inside North Point Mall, and that's about 1.4 miles to the south of this location. The applicant did provide a citizen participation report, which indicated that they had not received any comments from the public. And then we did show this to the public at the September 11th Community Zoning Information Meeting, and there were no public comments at that meeting. And with that, staff is recommending approval subject to 5 conditions, and I'll go through those. Condition 1, massage therapy shall be added as a conditional use at 210 South Main Street, Suite D, and limited to no more than 1,485 square feet. 2, conditional use approval shall be limited to the Tox. No additional massage therapy use or subleasing shall be permitted in the approved space. 3, massage therapy shall be limited to lymphatic drainage massage and sculpting facial services. 4 are the hours of operation, Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And 5, window signage shall be limited to no more than 10% of the window area, and window area shall not be covered or blacked out. No lighted window trim. And that concludes the presentation. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer those.
Thank you, Michael. I have a couple of them. One is, I was hoping you'd tell us what lymphatic drainage is, but I assume the applicant will. I've never heard of it before. How many massage parlors do we have in Alpharetta?
So this is the map. The icons in blue represent the massage therapy locations. So there are 5 locations operating in the city.
Do we have one that does lymphatic drainage?
I've not heard of any of our massage therapy businesses offering that service, but I don't know for a fact that they don't.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions for Michael? No questions? Who is the applicant? All right, come forward and make a presentation. Yes, I want to know that.
Hello. Hi.
Hello.
So basically the
Would you
talk-
please state your name and address for the audience and for the record?
Yes, my name is Janki Patel, Janki Patel. I live in Beaufort, Georgia, 4483 Bogan Park Lane. So the Tox is basically a lymphatic drainage massage place, and for those of you who don't know what that is, it's
I don't.
Okay. It's basically going in and manually kind of body contouring your lymphatic and your digestive system to get rid of all or any toxins or pollutants that your body might carry.
Okay.
Any other
All
questions?
right. Are you okay with the condition?
Yes.
All right. So how many of these do you have in Georgia? Is this the first one?
Yeah, so this would be the first one in Alpharetta. There are locations in Buckhead, and I am opening one in Sandy Springs as well.
Is this a franchise?
Yes.
Okay, so you have a franchise here in Buckhead.
Mhm.
All right.
and
Good.
Sandy Springs.
Have you done this before?
This is my first time doing this.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, welcome to Alpharetta.
Thank you.
Anybody else has any questions? All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to turn this over to the two attendees. If you have any comments, in favor or against? None in favor and none in opposition. So anything else you'd like to add? That's to the applicant before I turn it to the board. Anything else you'd like to add? All right, I'm going to turn this over to the board for discussion and our motion.
I'll make a motion to approve CU-24-13, the talks / Maxwell, subject to the following conditions of the 5 conditions that staff recommended.
I'll second.
All right, motion has been made and properly seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries. Council is going to consider this application on October 28th. They make the final decision. We are recommending approval. Thank you so much. All right, the second item is PH-24-18 new DC text amendments, and Kathy is going to present on this one.
Good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. The next item is consideration of a few changes to the Unified Development Code. They're text amendments, and I'll go over each one. One is to amend UDC subsection 2.6.7, and that's to amend the height of a flagpole on a non-residential property from a maximum building height in the applicable zoning district or 60 feet, whichever is less, to no more than 35 feet. So we think the standard should be a maximum of 35 feet instead of situations where you may have a one-story building, but the underlying zoning may allow a 60-foot flagpole. So we thought it was more in line if all the commercial properties had a maximum of 35 feet. So that's the change that we're looking for that section. And then we're also looking to amend.
Before you go to the next one,
Yes.
what triggered that proposed amendment?
So this has been in our code for some time, and we have been looking at changes that we think need to occur based on how we see development patterns. So it was just a staff recommendation that we look at changing that height instead of the underlying zoning of up to 60 feet to keep it to 35 feet for all properties.
And the previous restriction was, or the allowance was the height provided for a structure or building or 60 feet, whichever was less. When we make it 35, do we need also to say either the structure or building height or 35 feet, whichever is less, or you feel
No, because of
comfortable with
all of our zoning districts allow their 35-foot height. So we went down to the lowest zoning district, the lowest height within a zoning district. So I don't think that we need to put, if you have a building that's 20 feet, that you can only have a 20-foot flagpole. We think the 35-foot is a standard that would fit with any commercial property.
Okay, all right, thank you.
We are also recommending a change to section 2.6.11, and that's the general provisions, signs permitted in strip shopping centers, and mixed-use developments, to remove an exception to licensed trademark logo colors. And I actually think this came up when I guess it was last year, that we changed our sign ordinance to say you could have a maximum of 3 colors within the shopping centers, but we also put in there, except that you can have the licensed trademark logo colors. That means you could have multiple colors. And we've had businesses that have been in compliance with the 3-color rule, so we don't see that as being an issue. It should still stay the three-color rule. Even if you look at Publix, this large Publix over here, they have white letters instead of the green letters. So we don't think it's going to be difficult just enforcing the three max colors instead of three colors, plus you can have your trademark, because that could open it up to several different colors within a strip shopping center. So that's why we're recommending that change. Because it's the way it's written now, it really contradicts itself. Three colors or the trademark. So that's removal of the or the trademark, except that the licensed trademark logo colors shall be permitted, removing that portion.
Kathy, before you go on, I do have a quick question on that.
Yes.
So what if someone has three colors and the trademark now? They're not going to have to change, are they?
No,
Okay.
no,
And do we have a lot of those circumstances?
we don't.
Because
We
I
really
looked
don't.
around and I couldn't find one.
No, we really don't. And this hasn't been in the code for very long. This was actually just added within the last couple of years, and we spoke to our attorney, and they did not feel like removal would be a detriment. That they supported the removal.
Yeah, I thought that when I was reading it, and I'm glad you asked that we're not going to have unintended consequences if we don't have a big problem right now. So if it does, then we'll revisit it.
Right. It doesn't impact anybody that already has their sign in place.
Yeah, it's anybody else that comes in the future.
Just real quick. So another question on that one, Kathy. If an applicant came forward, a new applicant, and had more than three colors, they could request an exception, I assume, right?
The code requires that a strip shopping center go to the design review board with a sign package, so they're supposed to identify their colors at that time. So what you'll see is a lot of times if they have a major tenant, those will be the two colors if that major tenant has a trademark that's important to them. So you may get two colors and then the third color would be added. So that's something that they get to go to design review board for their approval.
Okay, thank you.
And then the last change that we're recommending is to section 2.6.12, signs permitted for cinema complexes, and to replace the term cinema complex with theater in order to match the definition of the UDC for theater. So this has been in our sign ordinance for years, where we have a definition of theater, but then when you go to this section for signs, it doesn't mention theater, it mentions cinema. So we just want, that's just trying to match those up since we already have a definition.
This is, as I was reading this, the word theater, it used to be in the British English, where they had an observation room that was disinfected. When people were having surgery, you could go and watch from another room when the surgery was having. So I have my sister come to the United States, and we have a theater in the church. I say, why does the church have a theater? Do you do operations here?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Yes, so yeah, definitions matter, so.
Yes.
So we're just trying to fix an error that's didn't match up. It hasn't matched up in the sign ordinance for several years. But that's the extent of the staff recommendation, and of course, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to try to answer those.
I think you answered them as we were going along. It just amazes me how diligent you are in keeping up with, needed changes in the UDC. So when I read through them, they were very appropriate, because cinema complexes, first of all, nobody uses cinema anymore. It's theater. And the word theater captures everything, which is what is in the definition anyway. So I'm in support of all of them as made.
We can't add anything.
What would you like to add?
I mean, it's come to
For
mind,
debate.
it's a short meeting.
Can.
I mean, the city operates our sign ordinance and banners and things like that differently than our businesses. Is that a correct statement before I go off?
They do what again?
Well, are you talking about for public safety or
No, I'm
public
talking like
works?
banners, like holiday banners and stuff, which I believe our residents/businesses are restricted to a different level.
I would actually have to research that to see what
Something we can talk about
size.
later. It's not something we have to do today, but.
I can certainly research that to see what size, I guess you're referring to special events?
Yes.
I can certainly look into that to see
And
what
listen,
size.
to me, it doesn't matter to me whether we allow our businesses to do what the city does, or the city goes to what the businesses are required to do. I personally don't care, but I think having a difference is a problem. Because let's just say that, from what I understand, the city's got a better deal. So, we can table that for another day. Thank you.
Thanks.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion, if there's no other
Please.
comments. Make a motion to approve PH-24-18 Unified Development Code text amendments signs.
There is something I did not do. It's not a motion yet. I didn't ask the audience whether they want to make
sorry.
any comments on this, or you're just here to observe and.
Michael, you want to make a comment?
Oh, gosh.
He's already made.
I missed a meeting last month, so
I'll restate my motion to
Okay.
approve PH-24-18 Unified Development Code text amendment signs.
Second.
All right, a motion has been made and properly seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries and staff knows what to do with it, so anything else needs to be discussed?